Yo, what is going on, you slackers? I am your host, Slackerz Gaming, bringing you another episode of potential newcomer tournament thing that I've been doing on the channel for the past couple weeks, and you guys seem to be enjoying it because you guys keep coming back to vote, and it's a really cool thing to see. So, if you're new and you haven't seen it, basically I created a 36 potential newcomers, and I put them into a tournament, and I make an episode once a day based on a matchup that I do, and then I leave the voting open for 1 week time, so 1 7-day period. So this gets uploaded on Wednesday, so next Wednesday we'll figure out who wins. But the way you vote is very simple. Just throw down in the comments who you would vote for in that day's matchup. So before we get into today's matchup, we always got to go over last week's results. And last week's match that we going over today is game number 9, which was Hayachi versus Wonder Red. Now, I think a lot of you are going to be like, okay, that's pretty simple. I know who wins this one. And you're going to be right. Hayachi did win 24-12. Voting is cut off, so any votes that come in after that, they just don't count. Sorry. That's the rules. Easiest way to do it. But I did find it a bit interesting, that Wonder Red, he got half the votes Hayachi did. That's pretty good. That's nothing to sneeze at. It's not bad. It is not bad. Let me mark the correct number of votes here so I don't get confused later on. Hayachi moves on. Hayachi's the 4th seed? Alright. Wonder Red lost game 9. 33, game 9 loser. Right here. Oh, alright. Wonder Red, number 33. So Wonder Red will face Waluigi in game 22. And the stuff down here in red, this is the loser bracket, and I think I forgot to mention that earlier. It is a double elimination bracket, in case you haven't seen the episodes again. If you lose one, you move down to the loser bracket, and if at any point ever again you lose, they're done from the tournament. So, yeah, the whole idea for the tournament was just something a little fun, kind of gauge a little interest from the community and who they kind of, I guess, expect to see, go far into the tournament. And by that, I mean, I guess, who could be a potential newcomer, who the community thinks overall has the best chance. So with that out of the way, now that we got the results done, congrats to Hayachi. And Wonder Red, I think Wonder Red still has a pretty decent chance. I do. He won his first matchup, I believe, against Travis Touchdown by 2 votes. Lost to Hayachi, but Hayachi was a big name. So I think Wonder Red still has a shot to maybe win a couple more games. Who knows? But today's matchup, game number 15, Chrom from Fire Emblem versus Springman from ARMS, Nintendo's newest, I guess, big name IP. So let's get into it. First up, Chrom. I think when going over Chrom, or I can't say any Fire Emblem character, but we'll say Chrom specifically, you have to think, I just went over this in my Rate Their Chances series on Sunday. Robin's Final Smash has yet to be shown. I think it was Ike. He does not have the palette swap for Chrom. The whole Echo Fighter thing is now a big, I guess, argument, a big point people like to point out. There's definitely quite a bit of evidence that shows Chrom could actually be playable this time. Because we all remember in Lucina and Robin's reveal trailer back in Smash Wii U and 3DS, at the very end it was, oh, maybe I'll get my chance another day. But then, who knows, maybe that day is, right now. Maybe he gets into the game as a playable character as an Echo Fighter. I know one of my viewers kind of pointed out that the way that he holds the sword is two-handed, and Ike wouldn't be the best way to represent him for a Echo Fighter. Roy might be a little bit better. Who knows? I guess. I'm not too big into Fire Emblem. I played it, but I'm not too big into it. So, regardless of the Fire Emblem character you think you would make an Echo Fighter of, and that is still an argument. I'm not going to get into that for the sake of this video, but I think he'd still have a very legit chance to make the roster just because of the whole Echo Fighter thing. And I'm a big believer that Echo Fighters, there's going to be quite a bit of them to make the roster feel like it's filled out more. I think they're going to go that route. We'll still get a few newcomers, all around new people. So I just think there's going to be a lot of Echo fighters, and Chrom's chances, I think, are better than better than most, I guess you could say. But let's move on to his opponent, which is Springman from ARMS. Like I said a bit ago, he is Nintendo's newest, biggest IP, you could say, in ARMS. I mean, there's been a lot of people are kind of speculating, when Smash first got announced, like, okay, who are the newcomers? A lot. Everywhere I've seen was Rex and Pyra, Decidui, Springman was always in there. He was always like a top 5 people just expected. Whether they wanted him or not, they kind of expected him to be. But then I believe ARMS, I think it was the game director, I believe, said that any character from ARMS might be a bit too soon for Smash. Like, they're a bit too new. You could take that case with back in the Wii U and 3DS, kind of like with Wonder Red. Game was maybe too new, so they kind of were like, okay, you know what, we'll set them aside and see what happens in the future. And I think they could take the same path with Springman this time. Yes, he's got a name that, people in the Nintendo community definitely know, and I can see him being added. I think for the initial roster, though, I don't think Springman's going to make it in the initial roster. I don't. I think the timing of, again, I'd like to go back to it because I think it's a huge point, but the timing of when Sakurai and his team came up with like the game design, the game roster back in late 2015, like the end of 2015, maybe very early 2016. I don't even think Springman was a thought for Sakurai and his team. So I think that timing means Springman won't be in the initial roster, but if they do DLC and they really try to make this, I guess you could say, a fan service game, like some people have claimed that this game will be, I think Springman would make a better choice for DLC characters because of, well, he's a name and he's a Nintendo, first party IP, and I think that was something that people really complained about with the DLC from Wii U and 3DS, was there was too many third parties. I'm not saying I disapproved of any of the maybe Bayonetta, was never a fan, but Cloud, Ryu, absolutely loved it, and Bayonetta 3 out of, what, was it 6? Because you also had, Mewtwo, but he was free at first, and then Lucas, and then Roy, so what, 6? Yeah, 6 characters. Half of them were third party. I think they need more. If they do DLC, they definitely got to look at more first party this time. I'm not opposed to, adding more third party characters. Absolutely not. Go ahead. That's fine. Just don't go super crazy with the idea, But, so, for my pick, I guess what I'm trying to get to, well, there's a long road to get there, but I think Chrom gets my vote for this one. I think he's got more evidence. I don't, if that's the way to put it. I think he just has the better chance between the two to make it into the initial roster. So for this game, Chrom does get my vote. Do I think the roster needs another Fire Emblem character? No, not really. But that's my opinion, and I could do a different video on that, but that's a different topic. So anyway, my vote is for Chrom. Again, let me know who you guys are going to vote for down in the comments, either Chrom or Springman, and then next Wednesday we'll figure out who wins between this matchup. So I think it could be a pretty interesting one. I don't know. I think Springman, I think he's definitely got his followers. He's got his backers. People will vote for him. Totally fine. I'd vote for him too. I would. But just in this particular matchup, I think I'm going with Chrom. So, yeah, that is going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed as usual, and hopefully we catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.